and made it here. And last night I got to look at it. I just wanted to put it in my shirt pocket. I would have went, checked my shirt, checked my pants. I don't know what I did with that note. I just found it.
He was losing everything yesterday. I don't know what the deal was.
Yeah. He's trying to
He ain't got many
he's
things on his
trying
mind.
to get 30 days.
Nearly.
It was
10
not.
months later.
It was 1 month, or 1 week ago this morning. So I walked in here. I thought, she was lying right here. That stuff will fade. That's just part of it. It fades.
It's so new. And it's normal. It's bad numbers. If you only remember it.
Yeah, that's right.
If you know.
That's right. Well, they're moving me.
I got you. Let me get back on. Michelle, you don't have to be so happy.
Yeah, you do.
The look on your face, I'm here. You're thinking about that leaving at noon, aren't you?
No, not really.
Well,
But not to mention.
I need to come down there and see if somebody should be missing in that office today.
Not yet. There'll be 2 weeks before I get back
I guarantee you, of all the holidays Van Dyke County give, what would you say, the last 5 years we was over there? 5 years? If a holiday, like, I don't care if it's on Friday or Monday, they would go into negotiation at least 2 weeks prior to, do you want, her and Bonnie, do you want, now, which one are you taking?
You have to be prepared. You need to know.
And then when
There's a way, I'm not here today.
Bonnie's not here today,
Or Carl wasn't out there this morning, so.
She walked.
Yeah, she got here after I did.
I don't know.
She might be here.
She may be. I don't know.
Or Carl was.
Odds are, she's not.
She's Friday.
Yeah, if I,
It's not? Thought it was.
What time are you going home?
I've got here this afternoon. Don't we?
I thought he was gonna leave early because he got here early.
I will, about 4:30. That'll be early for me.
That is.
The main thing, where we going to lunch, Tim?
Huh?
Huh?
If we ever get out of here.
If we can get out of here.
Is he there?
I emailed him down the.
Oh, he did, okay.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh.
What about that up there? Oh, that's somebody did it.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Happy pre-Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you. Let me call to order the workshop of Van Zandt County Commissioners on Wednesday, November the 24th, 2021 at 11:08 a.m. Now, there is a quorum established, but it's a workshop. There is a quorum with all members of the court present. No public comments, no one for public comments. So item number 3, grant work projects workshop. Mr. Bass, if you want to begin where we're at, what if there's anything you need, or what are we looking at?
Yeah, so right now I've been in discussion with Chad regarding moving forward with the radio and broadband project. Initially, I didn't think we could do the radio project, but I brought it back to my teammates, who are obviously working with other counties, and we can justify the radio project through a particular expenditure category, which is kind of the communications component. So that's how we can kind of frame this in terms of, we need this radio tower and radio infrastructure on the tower in order for, the EMS to communicate successfully with dispatch and, respond to any potential, current or future COVID situations. So we can move forward with the radio project, that infrastructure, and obviously broadband is covered. I am working with Chad LaPrada, I believe is his last name.
Brad.
Oh, hey, Chad. I never, nice to put a name to the face. But yeah, just to get some further information regarding if we move forward with the broadband, does it meet or exceed certain upload and download speed requirements? That would be required for reporting back to the Treasury Department when that. So once the broadband is installed, we would need to just kind of have like a readout or a meter that said it meets these particular download and upload speed requirements, or just some documentation from the vendor that says that it'll be there. Additionally, Chad, I mentioned that we do kind of need to show or have some sort of documentation or evidence regarding that where we would be putting the broadband would be addressing unserved or underserved areas. So those people, we would kind of need maybe a map or something you mentioned that you could pull up that.
Yes, sir. We had a map in the EdCog broadband meeting that showed all the areas that didn't meet the minimum requirements that you asked about.
Okay, great.
Trying to get that stuff for you. Haven't got it yet.
Okay, great.
As
And
well
so
as
Chad, cool, thank you. And so in terms of this kind of whole project, this is how I see it at the moment, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's just my understanding, but we would need to construct new towers, is that correct?
yes,
Okay. And then on those new towers, we would put this radio infrastructure and then the broadband infrastructure.
yes, sir.
Okay.
But the broadband infrastructure wouldn't be provided out of the American Rescue Plan. That would be provided by whatever vendor got on the tower.
That'd be provided by who?
The vendor that got on the tower, they would install their equipment. We wouldn't purchase the broadband equipment.
Right. Yeah, but we would pay them with the ARP money.
No, we're just building the tower and allowing them space on it.
Oh, okay.
Can we discuss something here? I'm opposed to the county building towers or with any kind of grant money, with any kind of taxpayers' money. I'm for the radio system with using existing towers, but I don't believe the county should be, or taxpayers should be paying for towers when private enterprise should be doing it. And that's just my opinion. I don't think we need to be in the maintenance business of those, and the insurance business and liability business of those towers. So that's my concern. I mean, I'm all for radio. I'm for radio system. Yes, definitely. But I'm just.
Well, Mr. Bass, was y'all gonna hire an engineer or something to?
Correct. Yeah, we would put out an RFQ to get some engineers request for qualifications, and then they would draw up, kind of design the project out. So yeah, that's how we would proceed if we were to move forward with this.
Okay.
Yeah. So the engineer would draw up the specs, and then we would go out and then, with those specs, hire a contractor to build it based off what the engineer designs.
Okay. What I hear is, I think what just came up is discussion we need to have here.
Okay.
Within the court.
Okay.
So is there anything else we need to be made aware of or any questions, Sandy? I know we said we was gonna schedule these every 2 weeks. But, so what are we moving forward on right now?
No, we were moving forward. I was moving forward with Chad in regards to the radio and broadband issue, but it sounds like you guys might want to halt on that for now.
What was currently moving forward was hiring the engineer to design the system. You got about a month process to make that happen.
Yeah.
Last time when we voted that this was a project list, y'all said we could go ahead and start getting I thought it was a consultant, but you said it's an engineer to get that moving forward. And so that's what I was talking to him about doing.
Yeah. So that's where we're currently moving forward with, sir. And I had some questions regarding the other projects that were sent to me in an email. So we can discuss those if we're done discussing the radio project.
Yes,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have some questions.
Yeah. So let me pull up my email that I sent to you all. So for the jail project, that was kind of that was all that was mentioned in terms of that. Could someone describe what sort of work y'all would be looking to do?
yeah, we have kind of an itinerary plan here. I'd have to email this to you.
Okay.
But it includes, we have a minimum security jail now that's not attached to our jail system. Okay. And we want to make that a maximum security jail and attach that to the jail and then build another an extension to the jail, which would include about 10 more cells, and put all this work that we're doing to propose this little sketch here. It's just a sketch.
Okay.
Adding it to the present jail we have.
Because they're two separate buildings kind of on the same property right now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so right now, we're kind of in a rock and a hard place, like I mentioned, because this jail, I don't foresee this being an eligible expense at this very moment with the current rules that we have, because the infrastructure that we can do is broadband, sewer, and wastewater, and we can do other infrastructure, but it can only be done to the limit of the amount that we have determined in lost revenue, which is $1,329,326. So that's all we have to use in lost revenue towards these other infrastructure projects like this jail. However, we're kind of in a buffer zone with SB 3011, that moving through the government, the federal government, and when and if that comes out, I'm not sure when, but that will allow us to do a lot more infrastructure projects. But I wouldn't want to move on this assuming that that a law that hasn't gone into effect is currently in effect, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, so I'm saying we could I'd say we put this jail project in our back pocket right now, because we don't have grounds kind of to move on it right now. And if there was a possibility that this new legislation did not go through, even though Grant Works is positive that it will, but just in the small chance that it won't go through, I wouldn't want us to put us in a situation where we're using our money for this. And then,
okay, my understanding, and please, I don't no disrespect, but I disagree. I believe that, I know there's counties already doing jail expansions and projects with the ARP money. And on this appendix 1 expenditure category of the U.S. Department of Treasury, I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have that with you?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Page 31.
Sir, could you describe the document for me again? I just.
Okay, it's appendix 1. Expenditure categories.
It's is it the compliance and reporting guidelines? Is that the
It is.
Okay.
It is. And the fourth one on the list, 1.4 prevention. It lists nursing homes, prisons / jails, dense work sites, schools.
Right.
Okay. And I do know there are counties right now that's already have begun projects using the ARP money
For jails.
for jails.
Right. Yeah, so let's kind of broaden out and think about it. So that 1.4 category, that's prevention. So yeah, so we can do jails, like it mentions here. However, it must be, kind of related to the mitigation of, the COVID-19 health crisis. So, installing a new HVAC system or adding barriers or some sort of addition or infrastructure that's related towards the mitigation of the COVID-19 health crisis. That's what falls in that 1.4 category. So I'm just thinking out loud here in terms of how we could justify this particular jail project as, a COVID mitigation effort. You know what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Well, obviously, if you've got more room to spread your prisoners out, then that would be
Okay.
mitigating COVID right there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, and it looks like to me, and this is, if you remember my original question, is it going to change? It seems like we started in a direction and we discussed with you and everything. We said, okay, we give you a list. Yeah, that's good. And now we're backing up saying, well, no, I don't know about this or this or this. I mean, it looks like we're taking a step backwards to me.
No, sir. I'm just trying to clarify. You gave me the list, and then I'm just trying to clarify and justify and make sure that that we're going forward, in good faith, that we can properly justify and write this up. So I would say the list you gave me was kind of a provisional list, and then we need to drill down and make sure that in terms of how these projects are working and the details of them, that we can relate them to the proper expenditure categories and what the Treasury Department is looking for. So that's what I'm kind of doing here, is just kind of double checking that the list is good. So so that makes sense, in terms of justifying this jail project, more rooms to spread out. So it'd be adding additional cells.
Any other questions? Is there anything we need to be doing right now? I mean, I mean, it's obvious from this conversation, we need to have a conversation between ourselves. Because I don't think, if we're talking about broadband and radios, and then this jail, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know.
I'll
if
see.
you-
No, it's pretty far away.
He's gonna send you a
I'll send
copy
you a
of it.
copy of
Okay.
it.
I don't think there's enough money for both of those, or those projects right there. You're not. I mean, I don't
I'm
know.
not I know we have around 9-10 million. I don't know the exact number there off the top of my head, but
Almost
yeah,
11.
almost 11 there. In terms of how much these projects come in at. But do y'all have any rough estimates on how much the radio or the jail would come out at?
Until we get RFPs, I don't have solid numbers. The best research I can do, I'm pushing 6 on the radio.
Pushing 6.
tower
Okay.
project.
Okay, you have any idea? about
I'm pushing about 6 million on our jail.
6 and 6. That adds up to
Okay.
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can come in. Van Zandt could come in and supplement with county money. You know, that's y'all's discussion, but yeah, yeah, that's tricky. Those are obviously two really big projects there. So yeah, so it sounds like from where we're at, you know, we have you from your list, you know, we had the radio and the jail and I'm pulling up the email.
Radio jail, looking
and
at
then-
your email that you, and forgive me because I was out most of last week, but it looked like that the records, what do you call it? Co-file of the records of the district's clerk, that the scanning would have to come out of the lost revenue.
Right, that's correct. Yeah, if we wanted to do that, you know, we could, but that would have to come out of lost revenue. That is correct.
Gonna do that is to keep people, it is for COVID-19 mitigation, because it would keep people from coming in the courthouse. It would stop the foot traffic in the courthouse. I mean.
That's correct. Yeah, that
She's been to numerous schools and they've told them, go to your court, use the ARP money to do this project, because it is COVID mitigated. And then,
yeah. I can't hear who's making that point, but yeah, that is a great point. Yeah, if it does relate to COVID mitigation, then we don't have to use lost revenue funds for it. I have another county that is, you know, purchasing, you know, a software that allows folks to, you know, do work orders and also purchase, you know, apply for permits online instead of coming into the courthouse. So yeah, exactly. A great point. I appreciate whoever made that. Was that Sandy or?
Sandy and
Okay, yeah, Sandy. Yeah,
Michelle.
If this file conversion is related to lessening traffic and the public's interface with the court, then absolutely, it would be an eligible expense, and we would not need to use the lost revenue category for that.
Yeah, and that's what we're getting mixed messages. I mean, you know, I've got county judges telling me, well, we're going to use it to expand our jails, we're do stuff in our jail and everything. And then like Karen, the district clerk, she goes and says, and they go to these trainings, they said, well, yeah, you can use your money to scan these files because it's going to keep the traffic down. Then the public doesn't have to come into the courthouse, and it keeps your employees safer. It keeps the public safer in a pandemic and everything. And then I mean, and then I get an email from you saying, well, that's not going to, I don't believe that's going to be, you'd have to take that out. I don't believe that's going to be covered. You have to take that out of the loss calculation and everything. And I'm thinking, I don't have a clue.
No, I apologize about that.
And that's cybersecurity, same way.
Last on the cybersecurity from the very beginning, because you don't have that, you don't have anything else.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I apologize. I mean, that's what these meetings are for, is for working it out, because, you know, in just an email, when there's just, you know, a few words mentioned about a particular project,
Right.
you know, I don't know about the justification or the further details of it. So that's what we're doing right here, is to really drill into it and, you know, think about it out loud. You know, does it relate to COVID mitigation? You know, 'cause that's what we're doing right here.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Bass?
I believe the COVID mitigation on the cybersecurity, because most of the people working from home.
Can
Yeah,
he
a
hear,
lot of
can he hear you?
Yeah. So, yeah, I can hear you, sir.
The expansion on people working from home, and that was part of the reason why justifying cybersecurity. a lot of people working from their own home networks.
Could you describe what would go into the purchase of cybersecurity? Would it be like VPNs or?
VPN's part of it. It's mainly a device that monitors all traffic coming in and out of the network. And acts on anything that would be malicious. It's intrusion detection and prevention.
Sorry, I kind of, I was having a little trouble hearing. So monitor all traffic. If
Yeah,
you could
it's
sequel it.
intrusion detection and prevention.
Okay.
It monitors anything malicious getting in from the outside and locks it down. And they monitor that real time.
Okay. Is this getting into the servers at Van Zandt or?
Last year, when it all began, we had so many people starting to work from home. We
Mhm.
overloaded our current router and had to upgrade a router, but we paid for
Okay.
that out of the CARES Act.
Gotcha.
But that's an example. It was a huge increase. It wasn't just a few.
Mhm.
They're coming in from every provider, every home, with their own home networks, with their own home equipment sometimes.
Right.
It's just added protection is good. It's needed for that.
No, that makes sense. I appreciate that. In terms of the file conversion, if we could step back to that, so I could just get a little better understanding of what that is.
Huh?
We sent you a copy of that. Did you receive it?
I did not receive any information regarding that now.
It's court paper, well, divorce records, some land records. She doesn't have a lot of land records. She has some land records. Tax information, tax cases. I don't know what all is up there. I know that I've seen all the things in divorce records. That takes up a lot of space. But the things people come into those for are probably tax cases and the old land records.
So this would be, if I'm understanding, this would be converting these physical documents to digital documents so that folks would not need to come in to fill them out, so that they could fill them out online.
Yeah, I'm assuming that would also be online, like yours are. But Susan Strickland's, the county clerk's records are available, the land records. A lot of those are available online, so they don't actually have to come in and look it up.
Is to reduce the in-person foot traffic is what what it's, it'll image, index and preserve all the documents that are in district clerk's office.
And so instead of having to come in and fill these out, they can do it online. Is that?
Yes, they can download their records from their home.
Okay.
Gotcha. They'll be charged for them, but they can do it from home instead of having to come in.
Oh, I see. So it's taking all these physical records that people have to come in and get, and digitizing them so they can just download PDFs of them online. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so what will you be doing? I think we'll have another meeting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so this gives me, these conversations we've had this time, definitely regarding the file conversion and the cybersecurity. I appreciate the input from other people on that, and thinking out loud together how we can relate that to, mitigating the COVID-19 health crisis, and that makes sense. And so with that in mind, I think I can find suitable expenditure categories to fit those in and to justify those projects with. In the next week, I will, if Van Zandt wants to move forward with those, I'll verify these two projects, the file conversion and the cybersecurity issue, with my team, and then I'll give you all the green light on moving forward with that, with those two. In terms of the radio and the jail, right now that the radio program, the radio radio/broadband project is eligible. It sounds like the commissioner's court wants to have a little more discussion on moving forward with that. Am I correct?
Well, I don't know if want to is the correct term.
My
But-
question is, will the radios qualify if you take broadband out of it?
Radio, yes, the radio would qualify because it would, and it is necessary for the EMS department in terms of their communications between, them and dispatch in order to answer any COVID related issues that they might be dealing with. So yeah, it relates to COVID communications.
And if you check on the jail, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you this rough sketch. It's a rough sketch.
Okay.
But I'm gonna send that to you.
Okay,
Okay,
and see if it
Great.
qualifies.
okay, is that it? Thank you,
that's
Mr.
all I need
Glass.
right now.
Where are we at on the engineer? We wait until we have another meeting and make a solid go, or we're gonna try to start the process, so when he gets here, we can say the radio, broadband, or radio.
Yeah, we can start on the engineering procuring process. If you want, Chad, I can go ahead and get that rolling. Yeah, it's just an RFQ. So if you guys decide that you want to turn around, that's totally fine. So
But if you turn around, we're still at the expense for that engineer, aren't we?
well, I mean, we haven't hired him or paid them. We're just getting requests for qualifications.
Okay, I got you.
We're going through the process of getting somebody ready to hire. We're not hiring yet.
I'm waiting.
So if we vote to scrap the radio project, we just not hiring anybody. We ain't lost nothing.
Okay.
Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just, my next steps are to just getting with my team to verify, the cybersecurity and file conversion. And then I will let you all know early next week that those are a go. And then you all can approve those two smaller projects. And then we can start moving forward with procuring what we need to do to complete those projects.
You're gonna handle the RFQ on the engineer.
Correct. Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that was-
The GrantWorks team does that. Yeah. We make sure that it's the procurement process is 2 CFR 200 compliant. So
Okay, thank you,
That's
sir,
it.
for attending.
yeah. Thank you everyone for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thanks, sir. Nice meeting you. On the radio project, guys, Virgil, I don't know what Motorola told you. I wish I did. But everything the research the committee's done since then, they can't use the Canton Tower. It won't cooperate with the tires. It's standalone, so we can't use it. And I don't know what other tires they're talking about. I don't have that information. I'd be glad to add it. I could research further.
Well, you know what towers we have now.
And
Do you
every,
know what the rent would be on those towers?
the people that we took to see those tires said they want to hold up the microwave system.
Talking about the radio system.
Well, you have the radio and you have the microwave backhaul, that big round dish on the side, and those towers are designed to hold the end load that microwave will create. Especially the one down at Eden.
Well, I guess we need to get Motorola and Harris down here.
And all the work I've done with them, we gotta build, we can't use the existing towers. I don't know what Motorola Cooper plan was. Originally, the plan was tie into Canton's. And then Canton's were tying everybody's at work. But in the latest thing we have with Motorola, one of their engineers even said Canton's ain't compatible for that. They're even telling Canton now that they're outdated and they gotta pay upgrade fees. And so that takes that off the board.
Okay, that's the way.
Yeah, that's the way
I just think we need to get them down here and ask them point blank. Let's get Motorola, and let's get the Harris down here and let's get drill into them and see what they say. If they can't do it, well, we'll have to look at something else.
And even with Motorola, it wasn't building a standalone system for us. It was tying into somebody else's. And Harris can tie us into a different one. But you don't have your own system and you still gotta build towers to go with it. It may not be as many tires, but you still gotta build tires to work on somebody else's system. And once you do that, you're not in control no more.
That's like I say, I'm not disputing what you're saying here. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying, let's get them down here and let's hash it out.
Okay, you're gonna send that
I'm gonna send this to,
it,
what's his first name, Kyle?
William,
Bass, yeah.
okay?
And we're going to have the Chad, something different. And we want to know, okay, if we don't build our own tires, and we're going to pay X amount of money rent. So I think either way, we're going to pay for it.
We're gonna pay for them, and I know, and I think you do too, what it's gonna cost to rent the present tires now. But you know, we don't have to pay, we're renting one now in Wills Point.
Mhm.
And DPS gonna let us use theirs free. And Canton's gonna let us use it if it's compatible. They're not gonna charge us anything for that tower. So we're gonna be paying rent on 2 towers, the Grand Saline tower and the Ben Wheeler tower.
But he's saying the Ben Wheeler Tower. But we don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, and we need to
You know,
get.
we own the Edo Tower. I don't know what the Ben Wheeler Tower is. And like I said, you're looking at one vendor's option, and when you go to the bid, who knows what the other vendor.
Well, that's true.
You can't just say Motorola built me something.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm telling you, like the sheriff was talking about the work we've all done together.
oh, I'm not,
Everything they put out there in the beginning, they can't do. That they come back and said they can't do it, and they can't give us prices on it.
are you saying Motorola saying that?
When we got down to
But
that last week,
Harrison says they can.
everything they told us they could do, they could, but it's been based on building the towers.
Kind of like all that software. It'll do this, and it's gonna save you money. Gonna save you money.
I'm not for either, I just.
And
want to
save
get
us a penny.
some petty- I want to hear what they can do and what they can't do. I want to hear it right from their word, right from their mouth. And I'm not for either Motorola or Harris. I want to just get the best deal.
And I'm fine with whoever does whatever we decide.
Yeah.
We just gotta come up with a design, get the best price, but whatever it is they offer, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they told you they could do. I just know what I've seen, what we've researched, and they can.
I believe CIP is on that. That's where we get our.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner West, second by Commissioner Melton. All in favor, say aye. We are adjourned. Virtual second.